Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be making this delicious baked ziti with meatballs. I do like to make the meatballs at home. I take a pound of ground beef and a pound of ground pork, put that into a bowl. Then I grab some Parmesan cheese, put that into the meat. I also add in 2 eggs. I really like to make the meatballs at home because I really like the combination of the ground beef and the ground pork. And on top of that, you can control the ingredients that are going into the meatballs, which I really like, so that's my preference. Add in some salt, some garlic powder, black pepper, and Italian seasoning. Then you can throw on a glove, don't throw on a glove, whatever you prefer, and mix that meat up. Mix it all good and well together. Make sure the eggs are nice and mixed in, the cheese is nice and mixed in. Make sure everything is good and mixed in. This glove is a little big for my hand, but you know what? We made it work. Put on the second glove if you're wearing gloves. You're gonna take the meat and then form the little meatballs. I wanna say my meatballs were about an inch and a half in diameter. So that's about how big. That's what, about an inch? Make them about an inch. I think I made about 24, 25 meatballs. So go ahead and form those. You can add in other seasonings if you like other seasonings. This is just what I had on hand. Sometimes I'll add in breadcrumbs. I didn't have any, but they came out really good regardless. So you take the meat and then we're going to fry that up in a little bit of oil. If you have a preferred way to make meatballs, let me know. I'd love to try a new recipe. Take some olive oil, pour it into the pan, let that heat up for a bit, and then we're gonna go ahead and start cooking up those meatballs. I'm putting the meatballs into the pan just to get them a little brown and crispy on the outside. They don't necessarily have to be fully cooked all the way through because we're going to finish cooking them in the meat sauce and then in the oven as well. So just get a little bit of browning on the outside. You're flipping them so that it's a little brown on all around. While that's cooking, go ahead and chop up an onion. I was going to use the whole onion, but after I chopped it up, I decided to only use half of it. So I diced up the onion. It doesn't have to be super tiny. They don't have to be huge pieces either. Just diced it up a bit, took out the remainder of the meatballs, and then I put the onion into the oil, let that fry up a bit, and then I put the meatballs back in. Once all the meatballs are in there, I take the sauce. I just used Rayo's marinara sauce. I really like the ingredients. Italian whole peeled tomatoes, olive oil, onions, salt, garlic, basil, black pepper, and oregano. I really like this sauce. You can add a little more salt if you feel like it needs it. So I just pour it on top of the meatballs, mix that up a bit, and then I let the meatballs simmer in the sauce for a while. I leave it there while I start cooking the pasta. So I actually couldn't find ziti, so I got some rigatoni, and it worked just as well. Again, ingredients, very simple, just one organic durum wheat something. Very simple ingredients. Definitely want to try making my own pasta and sauce at some point, but I love this. No added stuff. Pour that into the salted water and let that boil. Once the pasta is about ready to come out of the water, I take the meatballs out of the sauce so that I can put the pasta into the sauce. This just makes it a little easier to mix, and then I can put the meatballs on top of the ziti when I'm ready to finish layering it. So I take the pasta out of the pasta water. It's okay if some of the pasta water goes into the sauce. Not a big deal. So I get all of the pasta out of the pasta water, get that into the sauce, and I let the pasta cook for about 10 minutes. I didn't let it fully finish cooking because it's going to finish cooking in the oven. And if you let it fully cook or overcook, then it's going to be super mushy and overcooked when it comes out of the oven, and that's not what you want, I think. It's not what I want, at least. So I take the pasta, I put some into the baking pan, put some mozzarella cheese on top, and then I put ricotta and Parmesan as well. So in the past, when I've made baked ziti, I've actually mixed everything together. So the ricotta and the pasta with the sauce and all the cheeses is all mixed together. But when I was watching other videos on baked ziti, I saw that they made it in layers. So I was like, you know what, let's try it. Let's see how this comes out. That's what I'm doing here. I'm trying out the layers. So you lay all the cheeses down, put the rest of the pasta on top, spread it out so that it's nice and even, and then more cheese on top. I actually took some of the meatballs, set that aside for the baby so that he can have meatballs without all the extra cheese and stuff. I wanted to see how he liked them. So I put more ricotta cheese on top, some Parmesan cheese on top, And then I'm gonna go ahead and take the meatballs and just start spreading them out on top of the baked ziti so that there's meatballs throughout the pan. Once the meatballs are nice and layered on top, you're gonna go ahead and take more of that mozzarella and just put it on top. So when I was putting the mozzarella on, I actually was trying to like save some of it. I ended up just using all of it. When I think of baked ziti, I always think of baked ziti with meatballs, but when I was watching all the other videos on baked ziti, I saw that people were making like a meat sauce and layering that with the pasta, but baked ziti and meatballs is how I've always known it since living in New York, so that's how I made it. Pasta came out of the oven, the cheese looks delicious, nice and brown on top. Went outside, grabbed some fresh basil for the top of the pasta, and it looks great. I heated up the baby's meatballs so that you can eat that, and now we plate it up. 40 minutes, and then the last like 3 to 5 minutes I turned on the broil setting and let it sit there, and then got that nice crispy browning on top, nice mozzarella cheese in the inside. I was a little disappointed with the cheesiness of it. I think maybe I didn't put enough mozzarella cheese in the center, but all in all, it was delicious.
This, you get this little crisp right here, and you dig into this meatball. This looks hot. Dang, boy. Mmm. Mmm. 8-7.
8-7.
Easy.
What needs to change?
My clothes, because I'm all sweaty, takes away from the experience a little bit. A cup of wine and a foot massage at the same time.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, share, and let me know what you'd like to see next. See you next time. Take care.